Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's a little before 8 o'clock, or it's just about 8 o'clock on March 20th, 2019. And not a clear day today. We had the cirrus roll in fairly early on us, or in the late morning hours. You can see now we're more or less overcast because the next storm system is coming our way. And here it is. Again, here is a look at the satellite image. You can see the cirrus. And here's that next storm system that's heading our way here on the high. Look at this thing. It's really wrapped up nicely. We're going to have a coastal storm tomorrow. We got to talk about it because it's going to be a rough day. You can see, look at how wound up this thing is already. And this is because, again, those water temperatures are very warm. We'll go over that too as well. So this thing is going to be wrapped up fairly nicely as a result of that. Let's take a look at it on radar. We'll go look at the radar here. Load that, and we'll get that. We got to get the national radar, the East Coast radar, to show it to you. Let's see if we can see. All right, that's the middle of the country. So here's the storm system in the middle of the country. All right, you can see it on radar. I'll go to loop. So there's the storm system in the middle of the country, and the coastal system is over here. So we'll go to this one. You can see here's the coastal system, and the rain's already going to be starting in New Jersey. You can see that rain starting to stream up into our area. All right, go look at the Ventus sky. I'll also show it to you on Ventus sky. You can see all the warm air that's involved and entrenched in this system here. You have some warm air. It could be some 70-degree readings just off the coast here, and it's very warm and humid air that's getting put into this, wrapped up in this system. You can see here, you can see some of the high dew points here that are involved in this storm system here. And again, this is all going to come together right over our area for tomorrow, which is going to stink for us. You know, you got to pay for 3 nice days, I guess. You know, you got to pay for that. I do want to take you back though to yesterday. Let me just zoom this in a little bit here. Show you yesterday's temperature reading, because yesterday we did actually have a sea breeze develop, and I want to go over that. So we'll go and we'll look at yesterday. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'm a little tired because like I said, I hiked 3 days in a row. Now I'm plain old exhausted, like a, you know. It's very hard for me to do that. I usually don't do that. I usually don't have the energy for that. But you have 3 nice days in a row, you got to take advantage of it. All right, so we're gonna go back to, I guess, 1 o'clock yesterday. Let's see, or maybe let's be noon yesterday. Show you the sea breeze that developed. All right, so you can see we had like a north flow around 11 a.m. And what wound up happening was it shifted over. And we had, you see, like a light north flow, and you can see the sea breeze starting in over here. Even in New Jersey, we had a sea breeze along the immediate coast. I just took my hike west of Toms River. It was still quite warm. It was in the, well, you can see there was a couple of 50-degree readings. It was quite warm there. But the minute you went down to, after I took that down to downtown Toms River, more closer to the coast, and it was more in the low to mid 40s over there. So just wanted to show that to you. All right, let's get started with the models and take a look at this storm. We're going to be focused on this storm now. So here it forms getting together. So you can see this coastal low here is going to become the dominant low, and it's going to ride up the coast right here. And you can see here it is going up the coast and impacting her, and it's going to be a slow mover too. So it's going to rain all day Thursday, perhaps into Friday morning, and we may still have a chance of showers on Friday. This thing is going to take forever to pull away. It won't be out of the picture until Saturday, and you can see, look at how tight those isobars are. So we're going to get some pretty strong winds on the back side of that low, and then we should have a nice weekend, and then another system for Monday, and then there could actually be some snow on the back side of it because some really cold air is going to move in on Tuesday, and I'll show you that in the thermodynamics here. You can see some colder air behind it. Look at that. Tuesday, we may struggle. We may be only in the mid 30s. That's 15 degrees below normal. And then we move that along, and you see we have some really cold air coming into the northeast next week to end March. So March might go out like a lion. But then it warms up again by Thursday, and we have some warmth in the east again, and followed by some cool. But it will eventually get warm. I think as we go into April, we're going to definitely start seeing some much warmer temperatures. That seems to be what the outlook is for us. So let me put this back to precipitation. So but at least the good news is we'll have some clear days next week, and then you can see another rain system there. So just showing you and another looks like another coastal low perhaps as we get into April. We'll have to keep our eye on that. That's in the extreme long range. However, we've got to talk about this storm that we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. All right, so let's go and look at the NAM national. This is the 12-kilometer view here. So again, just to show you the storms, how they're coming together over us, and then forming this main coastal low that's going to start deepening. And the NAM is actually even slower. To notice slower movement on the NAM here, slowing down the storm system as it's strengthening. So that's why the heaviest rain is probably going to be Thursday night to Friday morning, according to the NAM, and then it slowly pulls away by Friday. But we're going to have some very high winds over our area. So we're going to actually now go a little closer to our area and look at that. Let's see if we can get the winds, wind speed here. It says we're going to have some high winds. Look at this. So we're going to have some high winds Friday, some really strong west winds, and look at that. Some of these winds offshore could be very high. And we're going to have to take a closer look at that. But first, let's look at the radar. I'm going to put this into the higher resolution NAM. The radar. This is the the radar interpretation of what the storm will look like as it approaches our area. So you see the NAM moves some rain over us probably sometime Thursday morning, and just some light showery type of precipitation to start as we go into Thursday afternoon, and mostly over the western part of Long Island. And the heavy stuff doesn't start moving in until the evening rush hour, and then then we get into some heavy rain and maybe even some thunderstorms possible as this thing deepens over us late Thursday night into Friday morning. And it kind of just moves very slowly too. Look at those numbers, 992. It keeps deepening. So this is a rapidly deepening storm. It's really sort of bombing out. That's a phrase we use for low pressure systems when they bomb out like that. We actually haven't seen many coastal lows this winter, but this will be one, but it will be rain. As you see here, it will be too warm for snow. But however, perhaps late Friday night into Saturday, there could be a couple of snow showers on the back side of this storm system here. So let's take a look to see how much rain it's going to bring us here. We'll look at the rainfall, and we'll see. I bet you it's going to be quite a bit. Yep, it is. Looks like around an inch for the island, but some areas to the west of the city, according to the NAM, would get more, especially in the Poconos. They could get 2 inches of rain, perhaps, with this system here. And we can go ahead now. We'll change it over to the GFS and see what the GFS has for the rain amounts. And it's similar amounts. It seems like more over the west than over Long Island because of the track of this. So we'll take a look. And I don't use the GFS as much for lows because it's low resolution. But you can see how this thing just comes and just bombards us with rain for tomorrow at night into Friday morning, and then just moves away. But you see a very deep low, a very deep low. So let's look at the temperatures. Let's see what the temperatures will do, because they will actually come up. It will actually be warm. I think we'll have some warm air. You can see the warm air trying to come up here, but for tomorrow it'll be in the cooler ocean waters, right in the immediate ocean temperature, still in the low 40s just offshore. So that'll keep the temperatures down with that southeast wind. And then on Friday, you might see a little warmth. Probably not too much. The worst of the warmth stays right offshore due to the track. And had we had colder air in place, we'd be talking about a major snowstorm. But because of the track of the storm right over us, we wouldn't, even if we had colder air, it would be hard to get snow. And then for Friday, temperatures in the mid 40s, and then you can see that cold air comes in on the back side of that storm system. On Saturday, we're going to be in the mid 40s, but then Sunday it starts warming up, and then we get up into the mid 50s. So I want to look at some of the models. Well, we can look at the sky. If you want to look at when the skies will clear out, that'll be good. I guess we can look at that. So we get the clouds obviously Thursday and probably Friday too, with that cyclonic flow on the backside. Originally it looked like it was going to clear out Friday before this storm. It was supposed to be. There wasn't supposed to be a storm forming over us. It was supposed to be a weak thing. But the models changed their mind. And even Saturday we could be dealing with clouds too. We may have to wait until Sunday when this thing finally pulls out, but then we got to worry about the cirrus rolling in on us on Sunday. We'll have to keep our eye on it, obviously. You can see look at that. You can see the structure of the storm on this. It's really wound up. So let's go look at the NAM and see how the NAM has that. And these are 18Z model runs. So let's see the NAM on Friday. So you can see the circulation very well on here. The NAM might be a little more optimistic with clearing us out. It only goes up to Saturday, early Saturday morning. Let's change this back to the precipitation, and we will look at some other models here. I want to look at the RGEM and the HDRPS. So here is the RGEM. And you can see again the heaviest seems to be Long Island might catch a break, and we may not even be in heavy rain until later on. I'm hoping that's what it is, because I have things to do in the afternoon and I don't want to be out in the heavy rain. But sometime say after 8, 9 o'clock, you could see there's some really heavy rain on this that really just goes right over Long Island here. Very heavy rain. That looks like very heavy. You can see how red that is. Of course, this is the RGEM. This is not the model I usually use, but that's an interesting scenario that we have to watch out for. And you can see just how wrapped up it is as it moves away. Let's see how much rainfall this brings. I have a feeling it has higher amounts over Long Island. And it does. It has amounts 1.5 to closer to 2 inches on Long Island on this model. Let's go and look at the HDRPS. And similar amount. All the models are in agreement, I guess. But this model and the RGEM seem to have the heavier precipitation more over Long Island to the east, whereas the GFS and the NAM seem to have it more toward the west. Let's take a look and see how it tracks everything. So again, here is the system, and again, it's slower with the precip. So this and the R are a little slower with the precip. And again, it doesn't bring the heaviest stuff until after 8, 9 o'clock, and then it just pours over Long Island. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as far as which model is going to be right. It's very hard to say, but I think that maybe the HDRPS is involved in a trend, maybe, because as the system gets wound up, it might wind up pulling a little dry air in right before we really get that slug of moisture later on. So that's entirely possible, I guess. That is entirely possible. That's for sure. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But again, heavy rain for tomorrow night. And of course, I will have another weather update for you. Probably, I'll try to do one maybe for tomorrow. I'll try to do one. Usually I do one in the evening, but maybe I'll do one earlier if I have the chance. We'll just look at earthandoldskool.net and see what the water temperatures are again, because I'll show you again that these abnormal ocean temperatures are a big issue on the East Coast, and here they are. So again, you still have this abnormally hot water, and when the storm tracks over this, it's going to pick up energy from that hot water and intensify. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. It's going to be a wet day tomorrow. Hopefully it waits until later on. Hopefully. But generally I would say anytime after 7, 8 o'clock is when the worst of it's going to be. Right now, that's what it looks like. So that'll wrap up this weather update. Just some nice pictures of the clouds last night, riding back from New Jersey, riding back from Tom's River there. That is somewhere by Linden, I believe, and this is by the Meadowlands here. Beautiful sunset and very colorful. So anyway, that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.